Our progress report says we are at stage 10, paragraph page 911. Okay, and our last headword was communicating general belief and opinions. Okay, so let's start with our revision. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. First question. Would a car stand still on a slight slope without its brakes on? Would a car stand still on a slight slope without its brakes on? No, a car
No, a
wouldn't stand
car
still
wouldn't stand
on a
still
slight slope
on a slight
without
slope
its brakes
without
on.
its brakes on.
Right, what would happen to it? What would happen to it? It would begin
It
to
would
roll
begin
slowly
to
down the
roll
slope.
slowly down slope.
Very good. And if the slope was very steep, what would happen? And if the slope was very steep, what would happen? If the slope was very
Slope
steep,
was very
the
steep.
car would
The
gather
car
speed
would get the
and
speed
eventually
and
crash into
eventually
something.
crash into something.
Very good. Is the soil deep on the side of a mountain? Is the soil deep on the side of a mountain? No, the
No,
soil isn't
the
deep
soil
on the
isn't
side
deep
of a
on the
mountain.
side of
It's
mountain.
shallow.
It's shallow
Why? Why? Because a lot of it
because a
gets
lot of
washed
it
away
gets washed
by
away
rainwater.
by rainwater.
Very good. In the past, what did soldier carry to protect himself against enemy swords? In the past, what did a soldier carry to protect himself against enemy swords? In the past,
In the
a
past,
soldier
a
carried a
soldier
shield
carried a
to protect
shield
himself
to protect himself
against enemy
against
swords.
us against
Enemy sword.
enemy sword.
Wait, one more. In the past, a
In the
soldier
past,
carried
a
a
soldier
shield
carried a
to
shield
protect
to
himself
protect himself
against enemy
against
swords.
enemy sword.
Right. What are the three forms of bleed? What are the three forms of bleed? The three
The
forms of
three
bleed
forms of
are bleed,
bleed are
bled, bled.
bleed, bled, bled.
When you cut yourself, what do you put over the cut to stop it bleeding? When you cut yourself, what do you put over the cut to stop it bleeding? When I cut myself,
When I cut
I put a
myself,
plaster
I put a
over the
plaster
cut
over the
to stop
cut
it bleeding.
to stop it bleeding.
Right? Is it forbidden to spit in the streets in your country? Is it forbidden to spit in the streets in your country? Yes or no?
No,
It isn't
it
forbidden
isn't
to spit
forbidden
in the
to spit
streets
in the
in my
streets
country.
in my country.
What are the three forms of spit? What are the three forms of spit? The three
The
forms
three
of
forms
spit
of
are
spit
spit,
are
spat,
spit,
spat.
spat, spat.
Very good. How often do you comb your hair? How often do you comb your hair? I comb my
I
hair
comb my
about.
hair about once a day.
Very good. What do we use rubber for? What do we use rubber for? We use rubber
We use
for
rubber
making car
for making
or
car
bicycle
or
tires.
bicycle tires.
Very good. What can we use a ribbon for? What can we use a ribbon for? We can use a
We
ribbon
can use
for
a
tying
ribbon
up
for
presents.
tying up presents,
And a small girl
and a small
might
girl
wear a ribbon
might wear
in her hair.
ribbon in her hair.
Very good. What's the difference between the word thing and the word stuff? What's the difference between the word thing and the word stuff? The difference
The
between
difference
the
between
word thing
the
and
word
the word
thing
stuff
and the word
is that
stuff
thing
is
is
that
a countable
thing
noun,
is a countable noun,
whereas stuff is
whereas
an
stuff
uncountable noun.
if is
Is
an
an
uncountable noun.
uncountable noun. Very good.
Is an
Give me an example of the word stuff. Give me an example of the word stuff, please. I need to pack
I need to
all my
pack
stuff
all
for the
my stuff
holiday.
for the holiday.
We talk about
We
lots
talk
of
about
interesting stuff.
that
We
that
talk about
we talked
lots
about
of interesting
lots of
stuff
interesting stuff
during the train journey.
during the train journey.
Very good. Have you got lots of stuff to do tomorrow? Have you got lots of stuff to do tomorrow? Yes or no?
No,
I haven't got
I haven't
lots of
got
stuff
lots of
to do
stuff to
tomorrow.
do tomorrow.
What kind of stuff does your country manufacture? What kind of stuff does your country manufacture? My country
My country
manufactures
manufactures
a
cars,
lot of cars. Very good.
lot of cars.
When you go to a restaurant, what type of stuff do you like to eat? When you go to a restaurant, what type of stuff do you like to eat? When I go to a
When I
restaurant,
go to a
I
restaurant,
like to eat
I like to eat noodle.
noodle stuff. Very good. What kind of stuff do you enjoy doing at the weekends? What kind of stuff do you enjoy doing at the weekends? At the weekends,
At the
I
weekends,
enjoy
I enjoy cycling.
hiking. Very good.
Mm.
What do we call the three main parts of a cooker? What do we call the three main parts of a cooker? We call the
We
three
call
main
the
parts
three
of a
main part
cooker
of
the
cooker
hub, the
the
grill,
hub,
and
the
the oven.
grill, in the oven.
And which part would you use to roast a chicken? And which part would you use to roast a chicken? I'd use the
I'd
oven
use
to
the
roast a
oven
chicken.
to roast the chicken.
Very good. What do we call the main part of the body, not including the head, arms, or legs? What do we call the main part of the body, not including the head, arms, or legs? We call the
We
main
call
part
the
of the
main
body,
part of the
not
body,
including the
not
head,
including the
arms,
head,
or legs,
arms, or
the trunk.
legs, the trunk.
Consequently, what is a tree trunk? Consequently, what is a tree trunk? A tree trunk is
A
the
tree
main
trunk
part
is the
or
main
body
part
of a
or
tree.
body of a tree.
Very good. What do we mean by a trunk used for traveling? What do we mean by a trunk used for traveling? By a trunk
By
used
a
for
trunk
traveling,
used for
we mean a
traveling,
large,
we mean
strong
a
box,
large strong box,
bigger than a
bigger
suitcase,
than a
that we
suitcase,
use
that
for
we use
transporting
for
our
transporting
belongings
our
from
belongings
one place to
from
another.
one place to another.
What do we call an elephant's nose? What do we call an elephant's nose? We call
We
an
call
elephant's
an
nose
elephant
a
nose
trunk.
a trunk.
Very good. What do we call the outer covering of an egg or a nut? What do we call the outer covering of an egg or a nut? We call the outer co-
We call the outer.
one more. We call the
We
outer
call
covering
the outer
of an
covering
egg or
of
a
an
nut,
egg
the
or a
shell.
nut, the shell.
Very good. Were you shy with adults as a child? Were you shy with adults as a child? Yes or no?
Yes,
I was
I
shy
was
with
shy with
adults as a
adults
child.
as a child.
Would you agree that in general, a person's shyness diminishes as they become more mature? Would you agree that in general, a person's shyness diminishes as they become more mature? Yes or no?
No,
I wouldn't agree
I would
that
agree
in general,
that in
a person's
general, a
shyness
person's
diminishes
shyness
as they
diminishes
become
as
more
they
mature.
become more mature.
Very good. The most modern farms use machines to sow seeds in the land. The most modern farms use machines to sow seeds in the land. Yes, most
Yes,
modern
most
farms
modern
use
farms
machines
use
to sow
machines
seeds
to
in the
sow
land.
seeds in their land.
What are the three forms of saw? What are the three forms of saw? The three forms
The
of
three
saw
forms of
are
sow
saw,
are
sowed,
sowed,
sowed.
sowed, sowed.
Very good. What do we use to wrap up a parcel? What do we use to wrap up a parcel? We use
We
cardboard,
use
paper,
cardboard,
sticky
paper,
tape,
sticky
string,
tape,
etc.
string,
to
etc.
wrap up a
to
parcel.
wrap a parcel.
Very good. Should we wrap up well when we go out in cold weather? Should we wrap up well when we go out in cold weather? Yes, we should
Yes,
wrap up
we
well
should wrap up
when
well
we go
when we
out
go
in cold
out
weather.
in cold weather.
Very good. If you were in an important position in the government, would you accept bribes? If you were in an important position in the government, would you accept bribes? Yes or no?
Now,
If I were in
I
an
were in
important
an
position
important
in the
position
government,
in
I
the
wouldn't
government.
accept
I wouldn't
bribes.
accept bribes.
Right? If you were a sales assistant in a large department store, which department would you most enjoy working in? If you were a sales assistant in a large department store, which department would you most enjoy working in? If I were a
If I
sales
were
assistant
a
in
sales
a large
assistant
department store,
in a large department store,
I'd most enjoy
I'd most
working
enjoy
in the
working in the bookstore
department.
department.
Very good. Okay. Next, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're threatening to
You're
hit somebody. You're
you're
threatening
threatening
to hit somebody
to hit
with your
somebody
hand.
with your hand.
But if a robber threatened you with a knife or a gun, what would you do? If a robber threatened you with a knife or a gun, what would you do? If a robber
If
threatened
a
me
robber
with
threatened
a
me
knife or a
with a
gun,
knife or a gun,
I'd
I'd obey them.
very good. Is a threat to commit murder considered a serious crime in many countries, even if the murder never actually takes place? Is the threat to commit murder considered a serious crime in many countries, even if the murder never actually takes place? Yes, a threat to
Yes,
commit
a
murder
threat to commit
is
murder
considered a
is
serious crime
considered a
in
serious
many
crime
countries,
in many
even if
countries,
the murder
even if the
never
murder
actually takes
never
place.
actually takes place.
Very good. Okay, next. Can we say instead of the sentence, people in general know that dogs are clever? What can we say instead of the sentence, people in general know that dogs are clever? Instead of the
Instead
sentence,
of the sentence,
people in general
people
know
in
that
general
dogs are
know
clever.
that the dogs are
We
clever.
can say it is
We
known
can
that
say
dogs
it
are
is known
clever,
that dogs are
or
clever
dogs are known
or
to be clever.
dogs are known to be clever.
Very good. What can we say instead of people say that the president speaks seven languages? What can we say instead of? People say that the president speaks seven languages. Instead of, people
Instead of
say that the
people
president
say that the
speaks seven
president
languages.
speaks the
We
seven
can say
languages, we can
it is
say
said that
it
the
is said
president
that
speaks
the president speaks
seven languages,
seven
or the
languages,
president is
or the
said to speak
president is said to speak
seven languages.
seven languages.
Very good. Finish this sentence, please. It is believed. Finish this sentence, please. It is believed. It is believed
It is
that life
believed
on Earth
that life on Earth
began almost 4
began
billion
almost
years
4
ago.
billion years ago.
Finish this sentence, please. My country is considered. Finish this sentence, please. My country is considered. My country
My
is
country
considered
is
to be a
considered
good place
to be a good
to go
place
for a
to
holiday.
go for a holiday.
Very good. That's the end of our revision. We were very good at English. Excellent. Okay.
Thank you,
Let's
thank you.
start new work. Okay, repeat. Chest.
Uh, mm,
One more.
uh,
Chest.
that chest,
Drawer.
drawer,
Chest of drawers.
chest of drawers,
Wardrobe.
wardrobe.
Very good. Okay, listen. A chest is a noun. So this is our chest. For example, the heart and the lungs are situated in the chest. Let's practice. Where are the heart and the lungs situated in the body? Where are the heart and the lungs situated in the body? The heart and lungs
The heart
are
and the lungs
situated in the
are
chest.
situated the chest.
Very good. Okay, next listen. A chest is also a large, strong box, usually made of wood, which we use for storing things in, such as clothes, tools, medicine, money, etc. In movies, those were pirates who put the treasure in a treasure chest. Let's practice. What's another meaning of the word chest? What's another meaning of the word chest? Another meaning
Another
of the
meaning
word
of the
chest
word
is a
chest
large,
is
strong box,
a large,
usually
strong box,
made of
usually
wood,
made of
which we
wood,
use
which
for
we
storing
use
things in,
for storing things in,
such as clothes,
such as
tools,
clothes,
medicine,
tools,
money,
medicine,
etc.
money, etc.
Very good. Okay, next listen. A drawer is a box that slides in and out of place of furniture. It is used to store things. A chest of drawers is a chest with drawers in it. We usually keep clothes in it. A wardrobe is a tall piece of furniture that we hang big pieces of clothing in, like dress, suits, etc., after ironing them. Let's practice. Do you prefer to fold your t-shirt and keep them in a chest of drawers or hang them in a wardrobe? Do you prefer to fold your t-shirts and keep them in a chest of drawers or hang them in a wardrobe? I prefer to
I prefer to
hang or fold.
hang
Hang my
hang
t-shirts
my
in a
t-shirts
wardrobe,
in a
then fold them
wardrobe, then hold
in a
them
chest of
in a
drawers.
chest or
Of
drawers.
drawers.
Oh, in
One
a
more.
chest of.
I
mm,
prefer to hang
I
my
prefer to
t-shirts
hang my
in a
t-shirts
wardrobe,
in a
then
wardrobe,
fold them and
then
keep
fold
them
them
in a
and
chest
keep
of
them
drawers.
in a chest of drawers.
Perfect. Very good. Let's repeat. Stock.
Stack
In stock.
in stack,
Out of stock.
out of stack,
Exceptionally.
exceptionally.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word stock can be used as a verb, an adjective, or a noun. It depends on the sentence. As a verb, it means to have a supply of something in a store for sale. For example, we call a large shop that stocks a wide variety of different types of product a department store. As an adjective, stock means commonly used or brought forward. For example, the stock cure for a headache is to take a painkiller and try to relax. As a noun, stock means a share of the value of the company that can be bought, sold, or traded as an investment. The word exceptionally is an adverb. An exceptionally big person is a person who is unusually big. An exceptionally small person is a person who is unusually small. Last one, in stock means it is available. For example, when a person of average size goes shopping, they are more likely to find clothes their size in stock than an exceptionally big or small person. Out of stock is the opposite of in stock. It means not available anymore. Let's practice. What do we call a large shop that stocks a wide variety of different types of products? What do we call a large shop that stocks a wide variety of different types of products? We call
We
a large
call
shop that
a large
stocks
shop
a wide
that stack
variety of
a
different
light.
types of
Huh?
products. Uh, we call a
We
large
call
shop
a large
that
shop
stocks a
that
wide
stack a
variety
wide
of
variety
different types
of
of
different
products.
types of
A
products,
department store.
a department store.
Very good. When a person of average size goes shopping, Are they more likely to find clothes their size in stock than an exceptionally big or small person? When a person of average size goes shopping, are they more likely to find clothes their size in stock than an exceptionally big or small person? Yes. When a
Yes.
person
When
of
a person
average size
of average
goes
size
shopping,
goes
they're more
shopping,
likely
they are more
to find
likely
clothes their
to find
size
clothes
in
their
stock
size in
than
stock
an exceptionally
than
big
exceptionally
or small
big
person.
or small person.
Right? What's the opposite of in stock? What's the opposite of in stock? The opposite
The
of in
opposite
stock
of in
is
stock
out of stock.
is that out of stock.
Right? What's the stock cure for a headache? What's the stock cure for a headache? The stock cure
The
for a
stock
headache. The stock
the,
cure.
the stock cure
Very good. Like it means like the cure. The stock cure
the stock cure
for a headache is to
for a
take a
headache is to
painkiller
take a
and
painkiller
try to relax.
and try to relax.
Very good. Next will be copper.
Cover
Copper. Very
copper
good. Okay, listen. Copper is a noun. It is a reddish brown metal which is commonly used to make electrical wires. Let's practice. Which metals are most commonly used to make electrical wires? Which metals are most commonly used to make electrical wires? Copper and
copper
aluminum
and
are
aluminum
most commonly
are
used
most commonly
to make
used
electrical
to make
wires.
electrical wires.
What color is copper? What color is copper? Copper is a
Copper
reddish
is
brown
a
color.
reddish brown color.
Very good. Okay, next repeat spade.
Spade,
Very good. Okay, listen. Spade is a noun. We use spade for digging holes in the earth. Another word for spade is shovel. Okay, let's practice. What do we use a spade for? What do we use a spade for? We use a
we
spade
use
for digging
spade for
holes
digging
in the
holes
earth.
in the earth.
Very good. Next repeat resort.
The
Resort.
result.
Very good. Okay, listen. Resort is a noun. For example, beach resort, ski resort, or a golf resort. I enjoy staying in big resorts when I go on holiday. Let's practice. Do you enjoy staying in big resorts when you go on holiday? Do you enjoy staying in big resorts when you go on holiday? Yes or no?
Now,
I don't enjoy
I don't
staying
enjoy
in big
staying
resorts
in big
when I
resort
go on
when
holiday.
I go on holiday
Why not? Why not? Because
because I like to stay at home.
at home, very good, more relaxing. That's correct. Me too. Okay, next repeat. Brass.
bra, bra,
Brass. We're
brass.
gonna listen. Brass is a noun. It is a yellow metal that is made by combining copper and zinc. For example, door handles, locks, keys, and musical instruments like trumpets are often made of brass or even saxophone. Let's practice. What kind of things are often made of brass? What kind of things are often made of brass? Door handles,
Store
locks,
handles,
keys,
trucks,
and
uh,
keys
keys,
and musical instruments
and musical
are
instruments
often made of
are
brass.
often made of brass.
Very good. Next repeat. Examine.
Examine.
Very good. Okay, listen. Examine is a verb. It means to test or look carefully at something or someone for signs of illness and injury. For example, if you went to the doctor complaining of a cough, the doctor would examine your throat and chest. Let's practice. If you went to the doctor complaining of a cough, which part of your body would the doctor examine? If you went to the doctor complaining of a cough, which part of your body would the doctor examine? If I went to the
If I
doctor
went to a doctor
complaining of a cough,
complaining of a
the
cough,
doctor would
the
examine
doctor will
my
examine
throat and
my
chest.
throat and chest.
Very good. Next, repeat bucket.
Bucket.
Very good. Okay, listen. A bucket is a noun. It is an open container with a handle that is used especially to hold and carry water and other liquids. For example, if I saw a child walking towards the beach with a bucket and a spade in their hand, I think they're going to build a sand castle.
Mm.
Let's practice. If you saw a child walking towards a beach with a bucket and a spade in their hand, what would you think they were going to do? If you saw a child walking towards the beach with a bucket and a spade in their hand, what would you think they were going to do? If I saw
No.
a
If
child
I saw a child
walking towards a
walking
beach
towards a
with a
beach
bucket and a
with a
spade in
bucket
their
and
hand,
a spade in
I
their
think they
hand,
were going
I
to
think
build
they're
a
going to
sandcastle.
build a sandcastle.
Very good. Okay, last one. Repeat. Mechanic.
Mm. Mechanic.
Mechanical.
Mechanical.
Very good. Okay, listen. Mechanic is a noun. It is a person who repairs cars and other machines. Mechanical is an adjective. When we say that somebody does something in a mechanical manner, we mean that they do it like a machine. In other words, without thinking about or needing to think about what they're going to do. Let's practice. What kind of work does a mechanic do? What kind of work does a mechanic do? A mechanic
A
repairs
mechanic
cars
repairs
and
cars
other machines.
and has a machine.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to your reading. Very good practice. Okay, reading is at stage 9, paragraph page 792. Last headword was post. Okay, please start reading at page 793. First question. How much is the postage?
Okay. How much is a postage for a letter from your country to England? The postage for a letter from my country to England is about $10.
Very good.
Uh, mm, Naughty, punish. When you were naughty as a child, how did your parents used to use?
You, you,
How did your parents used to punish you? When I was naughty child, when I was naughty as a child, my parents uh,
used to
used
punish me.
used to punish me by not giving me allowance.
Hmm.
Fold. What am I doing? You're folding a page of your book. Native. What's your native language? My native language is Japanese. Treasure. Is there still any lost treasure in the world? Yes, there is still some lost treasures in the world, especially at the bottom of the sea where ships sank in the old days. Receipt. Prove. What problem might you have if you took a faulty product back to a shop but didn't have that receipt to prove where you bought it anymore? If I uh,
If I
if
took,
I took a faulty product back to a shop but didn't have the receipt to prove where I bought it anymore, the shop might not agree to change the product or give me a refund. Put one's foot down equals to be determined and insist on something. What does the idiom to put one's foot down mean? The idiom to put one's foot down means to be determined and insist on something. Give me an example, please. If I hadn't put my foot down and got angry with them, they would have done nothing and the work would never have got finished. Two meanings of quite. Give me an example of the word quite with a meaning of completely please. This one is quite excellent. I'm sorry, but what you're asking me to do is quite impossible. Excuse me, I'm sorry. What's the difference between excuse me and I'm sorry? The difference between excuse me and I'm sorry is that we generally use excuse me for something that is not very important, and I'm sorry for more important apology. What do you say when you want to pass between two people who are speaking to each other? When I want to pass between the people who are speaking to each other, I say, excuse me. And what do you say if in passing you accidentally step on the foot of one of the people who are speaking? If in passing I accidentally step on the foot one of the two people who are speaking, I say, I'm sorry. Wealthy, which is the wealthiest region of this country. The wealthiest Tokyo is the wealthiest region of this country. Disaster. Flood. How can a long period of heavy rain result in a disaster? A long period of heavy rain results in a disaster because it can lead to floods that cause death, terrible damage to farms and buildings, etc. Dam.
very
What
good.
is a
Okay, so we stop there
thank
for
you.
today. Very good.
Mhm.
Very good reading.